Testing. Are we live? Are we primed, live, and ready for the grind? In relation to the tape roll, I believe the tape speed just broke. Anyways, being born with a strange gene. No, that wasn't the topic. That wasn't the discussion. The subject matter actually was being gifted. Being born with too many gifts. Is that actually a blessing or is that actually a curse? And I question this because let me give the examples of what I am. I got music blasting in my ear. I'm trying to get in the mood, in the mode, in my zone to talk. Let me take that out. Anyways, so my gifts and my talents. I said them before, but I'm going to repeat them. And this is the area where I question whether having too many gifts and talents, skills, are a blessing and a curse. Okay, so in my past, I've been known to rap. I've been known to sing. I've been known to write songs, which is what I do currently. That's what I do currently is writing. I play piano, right? I play piano. I can also read sheet music. Yes, I read sheet music. I also make beats. So I'm into audio production, which I recently graduated from Full Sail University. But yeah, a lot of what they taught me, I actually was self-taught. I've been doing what I've been doing since 2007 and actually way back since like the late 90s. But oh yeah, and then marketing and advertising, I'm actually good at that. SEO, all that type of stuff, algorithms, all that I understand. Photography, walking around with a camera, that's my thing in relation to film. Final Cut Pro I have and I don't use. I'll speak on that in another video. But having many talents, right? The blessing and the curse. I wonder if others a lot of times ask this question alone, their private thoughts. It's a question because, see, to be born gifted and to have too many talents, skills, is to wake up sometimes and not know which one to put to use. That's outside of completing projects and work for others. But the advantage of having these many talents is not a day goes by where you're actually bored. You got what I'm saying? Because to be very highly creative is to always come up with something to do. And yet, in relation to that, the curse aspect is because, remember, life always has seasons. One season begins and another season ends. You got what I'm saying? I need to repeat that because I just messed that up. A season begins and yet it ends. And so once that season ends, a new season plays in and begins. Everything unfolds. Everything untold unfolds. And so with that being said, it's as if when you have various talents and gifts and skills, you're being pulled every which way with new seasons, because these seasons are inviting themselves. They're imposing themselves into your world so that you can try out new things. And yet with that, you can oftentimes feel lost in life. And I think many artists that, like I said before, it's something that they don't really speak on because they don't want to maybe show or express vulnerability. Maybe they just use that and speak it through their art. They use art as a vehicle to speak it, but they don't speak it out vocally. So others that feel this, a lot of times, feel alone with these feelings because they are vulnerable feelings. You never want to live in the world full of people who always feel sure of themselves, and I am one of them. But at times, once again, to have so many things to know how to do is to feel lost. It is. Because season A might actually be for you to write songs for others, right? But then that season has to close out, or maybe that season is a lifelong season. But on top of that, it might be meant for you to do what season B has to offer and bring, which could be, for me, say like film. For some weird reason, and I've been feeling this and I've been sensing this since 2000, somewhere around 2006, 2007, I've been sensing that it was always meant for me to do music videos. I don't know why that is. Audio and video, I've always been sensing that is supposed to be one of my purposes out of many. Because once again, to have many talents is to serve many purposes. But like I said, in my past, I used to walk around with a camcorder all throughout my neighborhood and just film. And random hood kids used to want to be on, they used to want to be in the video. But I ended up cracking that camcorder, and now I'm just trying to figure out what other type of camcorder to get. But outside of that, the gift and the curse, it makes you feel lost, because you already feel as if you're living your purpose. But as you're living your purpose, you still feeling like you're supposed to be doing that other thing as well. You're not supposed to put away the first thing that you're doing, but you're supposed to pull in and actually do this side thing. So music videos, I just was at Walmart recently, but before I got in Walmart, I was thinking, like, I need to be doing film in relation to music. And I don't know what it is that keeps pulling me to that. Why do I feel like I need to be doing film in relation to music? Not in relation to what I already did with Discovery or any of that, but music. What is that? And I'm sure one of you guys are being pulled to something the same way I'm being pulled to this. You have to be. Because, see, to be pulled to something is to live a full, wholesome life. It's not to just go in one direction. Because we're purposed to do various things. But what is very intriguing about the pull in relation to the more of what you're supposed to do is you don't even know specifically what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to do it, and how you're supposed to go about doing it, and who you're supposed to be involved with. I know that usually takes time, like over course of however long things start to show up and things start to show. But in relation to all my talents and skills, every time I was going for that thing that I was supposed to be doing or pulled to do, this is how it all happened. This is how it all started. This was the very beginning feelings that I've had. The mass confusion. Because that's all it is. It's mass confusion. It's trying to find that direct guidance. And like I said, it's not like everything is served to you on buffet, like at a buffet, on a table. It's like bits and pieces of scraps are delivered to you as you go. And what you're supposed to do is formulate the whole, but sometimes that's frustrating. Sometimes that is very frustrating. Because you just feel like you're going with the wind. I think the issue with this is because life moves so fast day to day. Notice how fast. Notice when you're a kid, everything moves so slow. And then as you start to grow up, you notice everything, the days go by so fast. You were actually doing something and now it's nighttime. You were actually doing something and now it's 2 weeks later. You just got started at something and now it's 6 months later. See what I'm saying? So anytime you got something pulling you in a direction that's a whole different new direction for you in that area, it's related to what you've been doing, but it feels new, right? So when you're being yanked and time is flying, you feel like you're in the midst of chaos. And that's where I feel right now. I feel like I'm in the midst of chaos because I can't see on the other side. Whereas usually I can see and I feel and sense things before they happen. But like I said, once again, I'm sorry to repeat, but I'm just trying to get this whole thing on the map to figure out where to drive. Before I walked in Walmart, as I said before, I was thinking of film and TV, but music in relation to that. Me doing projects in relation to the music and the TV and film. And as soon as I got to Subway, it was some guy that was into music. Even before I could open my mouth and say hi or say what's up or how are you or I want to order this, he just came out and said, "Oh, do you do music videos?" See what I'm saying? That's so weird. Because that type of thing keeps flying and smacking me in the face. And I know that I'm supposed to be doing music videos, but that's like completely out of my lane. I feel like that is so completely out of my lane. And I've always been this is the most conservative I've ever been in life. I've always been wacky, a comedic person, into comedy, just real funny and stuff like that, and colorful with art. But right now in this season, for some unknown reason, I'm becoming more conservative because I'm trying to find my way. It's like I've stopped. I stopped this season, which has begun over since 2015? I think that was 2015. Somewhere around 2015, my whole world had changed, and it has changed, and it is still changing and evolving, but I'm more conservative than I've ever been. Like, I don't tell as many jokes, I don't say much playful things, because I'm moving into new avenues, and it feels unsettling. It's uncomfortable. I'm like outside of my comfort lane, and anytime I'm outside of my comfort lane, it sort of changes me up. My personality becomes altered because I'm trying to adjust. So with the music video thing, I know that actually comes later, and I'm gonna probably have to move again or something, I don't know. But it's so new, because that I know that I could actually do that. I know otherwise I wouldn't have gotten as far as I have, internally, outwardly, to actually bring my skills and talents to life if I didn't believe in myself over the years. To have this many gifts and talents, I believe if it's meant for me to do music videos, I believe in that. I believe in myself. But what I haven't been believing in is this unsettled feeling of uncomfortableness. I feel like I'm not even I feel like I'm myself, but I'm half of myself. I'm not totally myself. Because to be pushed, that's for any of you guys, not just me, but to be pushed out of your comfort lane to try new things is to not feel like you have anything to hold on to. There's like no anchor. You're just free flying and free floating. And it just feels chaotic. It just feels very sporadic. So as time goes on, once I continue to, go through each day, I know I'll understand it all, or maybe not completely understand it all. Maybe, like they say, everything isn't meant to understand, but hopefully in the end I'll find my way. I always do. I usually do. But Pro Tools, I that's my thing. Pro Tools. Actually, you know what? Final Cut Pro, when I look at Final Cut Pro, because like I said, I have that on my laptop and I never use it. It reminds me so much of like Pro Tools. I don't know. I mean, no, I'm sorry. It doesn't remind me of Pro Tools. Final Cut Pro reminds me of Logic Pro X. And I'm thinking because its creators are Apple. So it's created by the same people. So it's got that same feel. So if I took a bundle of photos and I threw them in Final Cut Pro, to me, that's almost like doing editing and say Logic or Pro Tools, because I see the music I see the music in Logic Pro like I would see photos within Final Cut. because I'm visually oriented. I see everything, music, everything as visual. I even see music sometimes as color. So that's what's so interesting with that. I know I'm like completely off topic, but I'm trying to make sense of it all. So I'm rambling here. I'm having a midlife crisis. Why lie? You know, honesty serves a better purpose, because it's got to be someone somewhere that feel the same way I do. You know, to almost be 40 is to hit that midlife crisis. It just is what it is, because what the midlife crisis does, it presents more and points you to more of what you should be doing, how you should be living, and how you should be interacting with others. Sometimes you got to be slowed down and set down to figure out what life is supposed to be. But yeah, I think all is a blessing and it's a curse. But if only I can flip that curse into something positive, all will be good. If you feel the same way, if only you can flip your curses into positives. I think that's all to be said. Yeah, I think that's all to be said. So, to question is to discover, and to discover is to uncover. Question everything daily. Don't over question, don't overthink. But when you keep being slapped in the face with something, it's happening for a reason. So I'm gonna end this one. Enjoy the day, be blessed, take care, make good of the sunny seasons. Right now it's kind of frigid where I'm at, but that's all to be said, and that's all to be had. Let me try and make another video. Let me see what comes out in the next video.